And I actually watch a lot of your videos all the time. And I was telling Sean, I said, take a look at some of Fred's videos. It was yesterday, right? You were looking at his video. I was telling him to take a look at some of your videos because they're very inspiring and thought-provoking.
Is this you too, Ben?
Congratulations.
It's family. You wouldn't? He shot my documentary.
And I appreciate y'all, man. Like, I don't read too much, but I know, like, the guys that are out there pushing and fighting and trying to get people to see things, the right way. I know that y'all been doing your thing, man, and I know people try to, quiet y'all down and stuff like that. And I couldn't tell you, man, guys like yourself.
The stuff you're doing, it's something you can apply to your life.
What are your thoughts on Michael Bennent's situation?
I mean, it's unfortunate. Obviously, I'm happy that he made it out. Day in the life, though. I'm sure, as he said, something that he's been through before, I'm sure, and hopefully he doesn't have to go through again. But it's no amount of money, no amount of fame, no amount of notoriety that could keep you from things like that happening to you. So, just an unfortunate part of life. I'm just thankful he made it out. Yeah. I mean, I've experienced that. I've been hemmed up, countless times when I was younger. You live in the inner city. That's just how it goes. They're trying to patrol the city. They're trying to keep the city safe. So, a black between the sizes of 6'4" and 5'3", and they gonna get you. But thankfully, I made it out alive. He made it out alive, and we moved past it.
Your experience when a player suffers an injustice or a tough situation, how is this law firm responding?
With support. We've always supported our players and supported our guys, and that's all you can do is support, because Mike is literally sitting, taking a stand, protesting, doing everything he can to combat the exact thing that he experienced. And people are so worried about him sitting down during the national anthem that they completely miss that message a lot of times. They want to be more angry at the action than the message. And that's an unfortunate part of the world we live in nowadays. I wish that people would take it for what it is and make a difference and go out there and try to combat against racism, fascism, unnecessary violence. A guy being discriminated against. He was doing nothing wrong. I mean, you can't go outside, you can't be out, you can't do this. What can you do? So hopefully people will start to do the necessary things that it takes to make a change.
Do you think more teammates might join him?
I'm not sure. I potentially, but guys are trying to make a difference in other ways, and I think guys will do more to press their initiatives and press their foundations and donate money and try their best to make a difference in other ways, because it's starting to become apparent that kneeling, what Colin did, obviously didn't have much of an impact on what's going on in society, and Mike sitting and trying to make a difference, and they're passing judgment and criticizing his actions instead of trying to make a difference and trying to do things to change it. So we're just going to continue to look for steps and look for things that we can do to try to change society and give people more equality. Say that one more time. I wish I knew. If I knew it, I'd be doing it. I'd be doing more. Giving money to different causes, and that's everything. That's giving more money to the police department so that they can have more people. They can better educate their officers. Giving money to the people who've dealt with this violence, who've lost sons and fathers and mothers to this violence, and try to help them. But I have no idea, honestly. If I knew, I promise you, I'd be doing as much of that as I could.
You initially disagreed with the father first. Given everything that's happened, a year later, do you have any different thoughts on that?
I didn't disagree with him. I disagreed with the action, not the message.
I guess the action, did not change the action.
No, it hasn't. But mostly because of this reason. For this reason, and it's because people aren't even getting the point. He's going out there and making a stand, and people are, you might as well just be saying blah 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 blah, because people are just seeing you kneel during the national anthem, and they're taking that and closing their ears, and that's unfortunate. People see the action and then close their ears. The rest is ignorance to them, and I wish that would change. I think his intent was pure. His heart was pure. He was trying to do the right thing, but in our society, you got to find the right way to do the right thing so people don't close their ears, and that's what we're trying to do. Honestly, a lot of guys have dealt with this throughout their lives, so we're just happy that he's alive. It's obviously brought awareness to the outside world, but for us, it's something that a lot of these guys have dealt with, throughout most of their lives. Just going out in everyday society, it's going to happen to you at least once or twice in your life, and maybe more. You just got to respond to it the right way and try to stay calm and try to do everything they tell you to do, and hopefully they do the right thing. And thankfully Mike did, and they did the right thing and allowed him to walk away.
Richard, at the risk of bragging, something very personal for you, when was the last time something like that happened to you?
Last time, college. I'm in Palo Alto. The east side of Palo Alto is much different than the other side of Palo Alto, and happened to be over there. Actually going to get some Jamaican food because they got good Jamaican food over there, and just got hemmed up, wrong place, wrong time. That I think there was a shooting not too far from where we were, and looked like the suspect. Had dreadlocks, around I guess my build, but they let me go. We had another incident where some neighbors, we were actually, they called us anytime they needed help moving stuff at Stanford. Some of the donors, very affluent and wealthy people, if they needed to help moving a big dresser or something, we needed money in our pockets. We couldn't get jobs. NCAA, you can't do anything. But they give us $50 or so. So we went over there. So I got there first, and it's a neighborhood I've never been to before, and the house was the driveway was really long. So I'm kind of looking around, kind of driving slowly through the neighborhood, and I finally found it, and I drove into the neighborhood, and knock on the door. I introduce myself, meet the guy. We're sitting there waiting for my teammates, and we come outside to a hard knock, and it's the police out the door, and guns drawn, and luckily he comes first. He gets into the door first because who knows what happens, and he's like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "Hands up, get out." And is there anybody else in the house? And I'm right behind him, so I come out, hands up. I've done nothing wrong, but apparently the neighbors called the police because I looked suspicious, and they didn't think they thought I was robbing the place. So they came with 9 police cars, dogs, everything. the guy that owned the place was like apologizing, but he didn't do anything wrong.
Is it any harder to concentrate on football at all with the something going on today?
I mean, like I said, it's going on your whole life. It's something we've always dealt with. I think it's becoming more prevalent to the public, and people are starting to see it more. With all these camera phones and Mike bringing it to light, and people are starting to see more and more of it. So I guess it's something that's always been there, though.
Are you surprised by this when he's not signed and he's still out there?
Yeah, I think I've expressed that countless times that I'm surprised, and I had a little exchange with Albert Breer, who's a good friend. He's a great guy. Earlier, because he had written an article, nameless, faceless execs of nameless, faceless teams, talking about, I didn't like him coming out of college. I didn't like him. And it's like, wow, so you're such a bad exec that you're judging a kid off of college tape when the kid's been to Super Bowls and won NFC championships and been to multiple NFC championships, and you're still talking about his college tape. So I think that's the part where I don't get it. You got guys who are so quick to judge and critique. It's not because of the anthem; it's because he can't play. But Mark Sanchez played in Chip's system and then got a job after. They're like, who else can play in that system? Well, he was just in that system and then played in another system and got a job. I think they're looking for excuses to keep him out of the league, and they're finding them. You look for excuses, you can find them. There was a great saying about excuses are like something on your body. Everybody has one.
How did you find out, Richard? Was it just today, or did Mike share?
No, Mike shared it with us when it happened. I think it happened a week ago or so. And he was just looking for a way to thinking about what he should do in this situation, because nowadays, regardless of if you're in the wrong or you're right, you're judged. And he asked myself and he asked Doug what he should do in a situation, and gave our advice, and he did as he did.
By keeping it away from publication until now today, was that part of you guys' recommendation to see how it played out?
I think he talked to a lot of people, but we had our talks with him about how he should word it and how he should approach the situation, because even when you're the victim, you're still criticized. You got to try to give him devil's advocate perspective, and I think he took all perspectives into account with everything he did.
Do you think society gets to a point where incidents like this aren't commonplace?
I pray that it does. I pray that society gets to a place where this is a rarity. This is obscene. This is outrageous, and the entire world is outraged by it. I think there are some people that are outraged at it. There are a number of people that are shaking their heads, but a lot of people are quietly outraged by it. They're silently outraged by it. They're just shake their head. Not a lot of people are actually doing things that people would do as if it happened to you. If it happened to them, there's a lot of actions they would take. But if it didn't happen to them, a lot of people just shake their head. And that's what's unfortunate. A lot of people are silent about the things that go on in society. People walk around with Nazi flags and people shake their head, but they silently do it. Nobody combats it. And the people that do, they're frowned upon. You don't do anything. There are many ways to destroy violence and racism and fascism and bigotry, and I don't think silence is one of them.
Do you think that this is going to happen?
I pray it does, but I'm sure all good people hope for this. I hope that my kids don't have to deal with it, but I will make them aware of it.
Mike mentioned victims of these shootings and haven't had the opportunity to speak afterwards. How important
Say that one more time.
Mike mentioned victims of these shootings who were killed or able to speak in incidents with police, I should say. How important was it for Mike to come up and acknowledge what happened, say what happened, tell the whole world?
I think it was incredibly important because I think there's a sentiment that goes around that it doesn't happen. You're rich, you're wealthy, you're famous, you have notoriety. There's no way it happens to you, and it does. And it does, and it's I guess it's nobody's fault. It's poor training for some. Every individual is different, because I've met great officers. You meet, you have good conversations with. I've gotten tickets and walked away with a smile. It's like, oh, that's a great guy. It sucks that I got a ticket, but and then you have incidents where you run into people that you keep your wits about you. You keep everything. You keep your hands visible. Certain people, I don't know if it's bad training or if it's something that went on in their childhood or what it is, but every situation is different. Every individual is different. But something needs to change.
Hey, I just want to remind you guys, In Your Corner, a movie I directed on Floyd Mayweather and Sam Watson, is out now on Vimeo.com. In Your Corner, click the link in the description box. And I would genuinely love and appreciate you guys' support. And don't hesitate to leave a comment and let me know what you thought of the film. And again, I appreciate you guys' support and enjoy the video. Peace.